to the Sunday project.
Well, if you're in the market for a kitchen benchtop, there's one thing the salesperson might not mention. The people who cut it to shape are working in the deadliest industry in the country.
I'm most probably going to be spending the last couple of years of my life bedridden. Just the fatigue from it, the out-of-breathness, you get embarrassed.
36-year-old Shane Parata has silicosis. As a stonemason, he made kitchen benchtops with engineered stone. In March 2019, just 1 month after his diagnosis, Shane's brother Anthony became Australia's first victim of silicosis linked to this product.
You lose your brother, best mate, someone you're with every day, but we can't sweep this one under the rug and let that, just another person pass away, someone loses another loved one before action's done.
We met Shane's brother Anthony 3 years ago. So there were no precautions at all?
Well, we got told that you got to wear a mask when you cut. It was only personal. If you felt like you were tasting it or you could feel it coming towards you, you put a paper dust mask on.
And could you taste it?
Yeah, you can feel it grit on your teeth.
Could you smell it?
Yeah, you can definitely smell it.
Mum, obviously, losing her firstborn, that just ruined her. She had the good days, but little anniversaries and stuff like that are just difficult. She's lonely. She's extremely angry with us. After everything that happened, she just doesn't know why. There's no action towards anything. And in her mind, she's losing me.
She'll lose too.
The issue here is engineered stone, kitchen benchtops made by companies like Caesar Stone, Quantum Quartz, Smart Stone and Stone Ambassador. These products usually have at least 90% silica content, more than double what's in natural granite. And when these high silica compounds are cut, they produce ultra-fine particles. Engineered stone has become a mainstay of home renovation programs.
An extended island bench will be topped in a quartz smart stone.
Definitely Miami Beach penthouse, that one there.
I love the fact that you were able to obviously integrate the curve into your Caesar Stone Cloudburst benchtop here.
For people who already have the benchtop in their houses, it's safe. It's all enclosed. It's all absolutely fine. The problem is when you cut in it and produce a lot of dust.
Professor Bruce Thompson is a respiratory specialist.
35% of the people that work in this industry have silicosis of some form.
That's thousands of people at risk. In its deadliest form, silicosis is more lethal than asbestos.
We're actually compressing this disease from beginning to end, potentially in a couple of years, where asbestosis takes much longer. Why are we repeating this same mistake?
What we need to do in this country is make sure we don't repeat these same mistakes of the past, that we don't become the world record holder when it comes to silicosis in the same way we are in relation to the burden of asbestos-related disease.
The Caesar Stone surface has become an enduring centrepiece in millions of homes and commercial properties worldwide.
This is essentially a fashion product. Australians have flocked to engineered stone in numbers that are not seen in other parts of the world. There are other ways in which we can build kitchen benchtops that do not kill workers.
We met Dean and his stepbrother Daniel 2 years ago, just after they were both diagnosed with chronic silicosis.
Prior to the project, our claim got denied by WebCover. And the following morning after it did get aired, our solicitor called us and told us we got accepted. It was great, but it's upsetting to know that really we had to go public about this.
It is by far the most dangerous occupation you can have in this country.
So far, the authorities have been very slow to act. Only Queensland, Victoria and New South Wales prohibit dry cutting of engineered stone, but even wet cutting may not be safe enough.
There isn't much difference between dry cutting and wet cutting. There are safe practices that you can do. You need to cut this thing under vacuum. You need to use other type of cutting techniques to be able to cut it. But these devices are very expensive. You can't do it on site.
Clearly, work health and safety regulators cannot manage this at the moment. We've seen these new controls introduced, and yet we are still seeing 1 in 5 workers in the last 2 years being diagnosed with silicosis.
Their medical condition has stabilised, but Dean and his stepbrother know they'll never be able to hold down a full-time job again.
Honestly, I don't know what do I do. What happens when I don't get any more support? how am I meant to provide for my family and myself if I'm completely restricted?
Dean is currently receiving weekly payments from WorkCover, and they will continue for a period of 130 weeks. But once those 130 weeks expire, they can potentially cut him off those payments.
I'm pretty worried if WorkCover comes to an end because, you know, then like, what if I need that for late medical costs? My partner's got a job, but she shouldn't have to support me. She's got a child, she's got bills.
Sadly, Shane's condition has advanced to a terminal condition. He's going to die prematurely. There's no doubt he's terminal. They accept he's terminal, but their issue is his death is not going to be imminent. In other words, he's not going to die quickly enough.
We need to have a proper compensation fund in this industry, and the people that should be paying for it are the people that have caused the harm.
For 2 years, a national dust disease task force has been looking at silicosis caused by engineered benchtops. They hand their findings to Health Minister Greg Hunt at the end of this month. They're expected to recommend that high silica engineered stone be phased out over the next 3 years.
We absolutely support a ban. A phased ban is really important. It's the only way in which we will ensure that we can eliminate silicosis as a disease that's affecting these workers.
The 3-year phase out just means there's potentially more deaths and more significant harm. Why is this taking so much time? Surely we can actually speed this process up. It's just not okay. And so we just have to stop it, like now.
Discover the industrial look. Caesarstone.
Caesarstone Australia declined to be interviewed, but said in a statement that
the key to improving industry safety is the implementation of a nationally consistent mandatory licensing scheme.
The lobby group for the industry said
No government in Australia is considering a product ban, as they all recognise the risk is in unsafe cutting of engineered stone at stonemason worksites in defiance of the safety regulations.
It's been testing and I've got to push through it. I've got to keep going.
Pretty much 50% of my mates, they were stonemasons, and they've got a 5 to 7 year life expectancy. They've got kids. They're stressed out. You know, I hear it every time I see them. That's pretty much all it talks about is the misery. We're losing people. We're losing lives, all for the fact that someone wants to have a good kitchen. It's just so unfathomable.
See, all we need to know there is it's more lethal than asbestos. And this is not about shutting an industry down. It's about finding and using those alternatives that have less than 80% silica in them. And they're out there. Granite and laminate are just 2 of them. So the recommendation is for these products to be phased out over the next 3 years. But the question is, how many tradies are going to die in that time? Anyway, full statements from Caesarstone and the Australian Engineered Stone Advisory Group are on our website.
Back with more Sunday Project in a moment.